President Joe Biden announcing that the United States will ban Russian oil imports and Russian energy. He said that this was a move that will toughen the toll on Russia's economy in retaliation for its invasion of Ukraine. The move follows pleas by Ukrainian President Zelensky for the U.S. and Western officials to cut off the Russian imports. KUSI Contributor and AM 760 radio host Mark Larson joins us with reaction to that decision. And Mark, we're also learning today that McDonald's, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi, they're suspending business in Russia. What do you make of that? And what do you make of this ban on Russian oil, natural gas, and energy?
Well, as far as the aforementioned Starbucks, McDonald's, et cetera, welcome to the party. A little late, but better late than never. And same thing for the president. Critics are saying today it's a good start. Leading from behind, I guess this is. Obama-Biden administration was big on that. You had Shell and other major petroleum companies saying we're not doing business with the Russians. MasterCard, Visa, all of that over the last few days. But today, better now than never, the president announced his plans to cut off the Russian oil and gas imports, which is not a huge amount of what we import. But the whole bottom line on this is it doesn't have to be this way. And he knows it. They know it. He also talked about how some of our allies were all in communication, we're right on it. And then the next breath he said, well, they might not do what we're doing. So that's the conundrum here, as you know, Logan.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what can be done, because he said, I will do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
Well, that's nice, but he's not doing that. That's the bottom line. And in the interest of full disclosure, I'm involved with one of my marketing partners who happens to be in the oil and gas industry. They're based here in San Diego. I've learned a lot about the business. Same thing with my good friend, the late T. Boone Pickens in Texas, who always said, hey, let's use all the different forms of energy. Let's use solar and wind and everything else, but let's use what we know works, and that's fossil fuels and nuclear, clean coal, what have you. That's what the rest of the world does, and it's not what we're doing. We have this big push for the Green New Deal, and that's the real rub here. This whole scenario today was based on, let's turn this all on the Russians, and Putin is plenty culpable on this, but the bottom line is, it's not just that. It's the fact that since January 20th of last year, there have been major restrictions, whether it's cutting the Keystone XL pipeline, and then for a while until the other day, encouraging Putin to build his Nord Stream 2 pipeline in Europe and get more power there. We kill jobs here, help him there, and then we said, okay, now we're not going to do that. So there's all these different contradictions in the mix on this. And the president said today at one point, he says, there are 9,000 leases out there that oil companies are not doing. He's also demonizing not just Putin, but oil and gas companies in the U.S. They have been beaten up. During the 2 years of COVID, there was no government assistance when oil was at negative. There was nobody coming saying, hey, let's help you out here now. But now they're doing it in a way to say, let's act like we're doing something really, really well here. Out of those 9,000 or so leases, the way the business works is, look, a lot of dry holes. You are restricted by states and the federal government with red tape on things like shale oil, fracking, this sort of thing. There's all sorts of other restrictions against that. So they talk a good game, but the reality is we have oil under our feet as a nation, and we don't want to use it. And that's a bottom line issue. So we're going to look back on this, the old Carly Simon song lyrics from long ago, stay right here. These are the good old days. We're going to look back and say, remember when it was under $6 a gallon, because it's going to get worse real soon. And so the president, with all due respect, is not doing everything he can. He's not. And some on the left like it this way. Yeah. They think we should be like Europe because it'll get us to embrace mass transit and get out of our cars and walk.
Well, then I start reading facts. The U.S. imports from Russia makes up a small slice of American energy portfolio, 8% last year, and only 3% was crude oil. If only 3% was crude oil, why are these prices going up so high so fast? And we were all noticing that the prices went up almost the day of the invasion. And you think, well, they had gas there yesterday.
Right.
Why is the price now different? Doesn't it take a little while for the higher priced oil to get to the gas station and then they raise the price?
Of course. You're talking common sense and logic, Logan. These people can see into the future. So the oil companies, the big oil companies, are not escaping scot-free on this either, because they can somehow see into the future and they say, listen, people are going to know it's because of what's going on in Ukraine, so let's jack this up now. In most cases, the people who run the independent oil, the gas stations, aren't the ones to blame and yell at when they're changing. Sometimes you're pumping the gas and the prices are going up while you're pumping. They make their money off of the Cheetos and booze and vapes and cigarettes.
Now you're speaking my language.
The movie theater operators, those that survived through COVID, they make the money off of $20 popcorn. They're not making it off the movie. So let's realize where the bottom line is here. But
so you go to the gas station, Mark, for vapes, Cheetos, and booze. This is what I'm learning.
That's right. Not necessarily in that order, which apparently that's what most people need to do
Mark,
now.
let me quickly get your last comment. I mean, can't we at least cut the taxes or get the taxes off the gas? That would at least be something.
And that's why there's a pressure here. Jim Desmond and others at the county are pushing for this. Newsom, governors in American states don't get off this hook either, because it's not just Washington. We have more taxes than anybody in the nation in terms of what the state taxes are. That's something that can be really big time. We have a surplus. That would be a really good opportunity right now if Newsom wanted to do it. But a lot of these people who are invested in the Green New Deal want us to have heavier gas prices, because that makes their utopian dream come true, they think, where we'll just walk to work, get on a scooter, or take mass transit.
Yeah. Mark Larson, Ginger's just showing me something on her Instagram page. It says beer is now cheaper than gas. Drink, don't drive. So we'll leave you with a little bit of comedy relief here, as we all are feeling the pain at the pump.
A nutrition break for the day. Do not put that in your gas tank.
Yeah. The Cheetos are on me the next time we see you in the studio. We got the hot ones, we got the regular.
Hopefully soon. We're done with COVID. I'm coming in.
All right, Mark. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.